Hello, here today to talk to you a little bit about all of our various ways of the members viewing their downline viewer. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is one of our many viewers that can be worked with, whether it's a matrix, a unilevel, or a binary. This is all a very, very controllable feature. For example, the legend, you can see that there's a number of things that you can see, as well as if a member is tired of seeing the legend, he can click this to make it go away. And of course, you can jump to a particular user in your downline just by putting in his username, clicking jump, and it'll start from him from the top up. So let's get rid of the legend, have a quick look at what's going on here. You'll see that if you mouse over, there's a bunch more information that comes up. This is very controllable, which I'll show you on the next screen. But basically, you can set it so that this information is viewable for the people that have been personally sponsored by the member, by admin, or the people that have not been personally sponsored by the member. So you can stay completely Sarbanes-Oxley compliant by showing the personal enroller lots of information and showing the non-personal enroller limited information. And of course, admin can always be set to see a lot of information. Any member in downline can be contacted on a one-by-one basis by clicking the send an email button, and that will pop up a pop-up to send an email. You'll notice that it shows the member's email. This is not the email of the guy you're sending it to. This is the signed up email of the particular member that is sending to someone. You put in your subject, you put in your message, you click send, and it would fire off a message directly to that person in the internal system. So this is one viewer. This viewer can be used, as I said before, for matrix, binary, unilevel, or anything. And in fact, it's also multi-center capable. So if you had a 3-center binary, you'd be seeing Corp 1 means center number 1. You could see Corp 2, Corp 3, which would mean it's a 3-center binary, and you can have as many centers as you want working with this. So the configuration capability of this all comes from here. So this is an admin function where you can say in admin what you want to display on the chart. So the chart is the actual this, so you can actually control a whole bunch of information to be visible from there, or you can have it visible from the mouse over, which is when you mouse over and you can see this. So you can display for admin as well as what you want a person who personally sponsored someone to see, as well as all the rest of the members. So you can turn on or off user ID, last name, first name, or you could get rid of those and do a first name and last name, phone number, email, link, volume purchased last period, what their current autoship is, how much volume they've purchased so far this period, if they're qualified for this period or not, what their rank is, what their leg count is. So these are all things you can turn on and off for various levels of control. Let's move on to another viewer. This particular viewer is just a summary of the person's organization in text format. So you can see everybody that they personally enrolled and a bunch of information. Then you can see the personally enrolled customers. So up here is distributors, down here is customers. And then you can go on to their upline sponsorship. And again, there's some configuration settings to allow you to show by personally enrolled or by actual placement as many levels upline of information as you want. So if you want to show the whole support line in a matrix, you can. If you want to limit it to 5 lines of personal sponsorship in a binary, you can, and it'll control how much information is shown here. Yet another viewer we have is one that's really good for exploding out fairly quickly. Not enough data in this, but if test 1 had a whole bunch of people underneath them, there'd be a little plus box, and you can just hit plus, 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 plus to explode out the tree in a file type method. So this is yet another one, as well as the jump to username. So this is another viewer that's available to you. You can turn it on or off if you like it or hate it. Yet another viewer is a tournament style binary only viewer. Again, multi-center capable. A lot of the same functionality from the other viewer is here, but it's done by buttons versus mouse over. So you want to send an email, same thing. You push this button to send an email. You want to learn more about this member. You click this, it'll give you more about that member. And you'll also notice in this viewer, only the I button, which is the information button, only shows up on the personally sponsored members in this case. So a non-personally sponsored member, you don't get information about. And then there's just another list here, which is actually the genealogy report. Not enough data to see here, but this would be a list version of the genealogy report. I'm in with admin privileges right now, so period 1, period 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Historical CV would not be available at the members side. This is because we have admin privileges. Same as name, phone number, and a bunch of this information is only available because we're logged in from the admin perspective. So it scales itself back to what's acceptable. and you'll see that it shows you what level and what side. This one particular one's set up for a binary, so it's showing you left, right, instead of side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which it would if it was a matrix. So it just gives you some general information. All of these informations that are underlined are sortable by this column, so you click it once, it would sort it ascending, click it again, it would sort it descending, so it gives the member a fair amount of capability for bouncing around and analyzing his information. Again, we always want to be careful. We've seen a lot of softwares with huge amounts of analysis tools in for the members lounge. We've actually found that to be quite negative for the members because they spend all their time analyzing data when the reality is there's not really much to analyze. The more you let them analyze, the more they're going to go jump all over people who have already decided to cancel their auto ship. And we've found that when you have 10 guys who had data analysis capability in your upline start phoning a guy who canceled his auto ship, not only does he quit, but he takes his entire team with him because you've just embarrassed him, not to mention frustrated him. So giving too much control of data in the members' back office, the members of course scream for it constantly, but the only reason why they do is they want to try to raise the dead. And we all know in MLM raising the dead leads to faster quitting, whereas going out and finding some new blood is much more effective. So we just always recommend caution as to how much information you give the members so that you don't end up in pestering the people who really wanted to just fade away. Okay, that about covers the explanation of a bunch of our different downline viewers.